Hello and welcome back to Skyfactory. So I've built a little contraption here and it's really simple, but I had such a problem in working a couple of bits out. I thought I'd tell you how I did this. What I wanted was to automate the clay production, and we're doing that. So I dropped dust into this top chest. There's water being automatically pumped into the barrel, and that automatically spits out clay, which is great, and it's really fast compared to doing it by hand as well. The tricky bit was working out how to pump the water into the barrel, and it's dead simple. You need a world interaction upgrade, which I didn't think about because it's got a picture of a pick on it, and I thought you don't use a pick on water, so it hadn't occurred to me. And the other thing was how you get the transfer node to sit on water, and that's dead easy. You just put a block in underneath it, put the transfer node on top, then remove the block, and then it all just works like magic, which is perfect. So what we're going to do today is build a windmill. At long last, been looking forward to this. So I'm going to need an awful lot of hardened clay, and that's for the electrical connections coming down, but I shall show you where we are so far. I've made the improved windmill, and I've made a kinetic dynamo. Both of these things are fairly easy. The improved windmill took the treated wood, which was ordinary wood treated with creosote, and I'm getting so much creosote I made a creosote oil drum. This isn't automatable, this basic one, so yeah, just go in and drop a couple of buckets in there, get the buckets out, empty the buckets into there, and that's fine. Well, maybe, depending on how much of this stuff I need, I might automate it eventually, but for the moment it's not a problem. And same with the blast furnace and steel. I'm just not using that much steel at the moment that I need to worry about automating. But clay, yeah, I'm going to use a ton of clay. So this is Immersive Engineering is the name of the mod, and I love it. I love the way that it sort of mimics the setup of real life electricity grids. So I used to work in the electrical industry, and I have climbed pylons for a living, and I love the way that Immersive Engineering has low voltage, medium voltage and high voltage. So we'll be using a lot of that mod for transferring power around the place. It's not the most effective, it's not the most efficient, but I really like it because it's immersive. Yeah, clues in the name. And I'll show you one more thing. I have started growing lots of different types of wood, and oh, look at that, there's a lighting glitch. Anyway, to store the wood, because we're getting a lot of it, I built some caches, and a cache is just one block of wood with 4 lumps of tin, 4 tin ingots around it, and they hold an awful lot more than the better barrels. So that's quite handy because we're getting an awful lot of wood. Right. I am going to take this clay, or at least some of it, and I'm going to smelt it in the furnaces because that will give us hardened clay, and I'm going to need that for making the connectors. So I shall return as soon as we've done that. And there is the tower up to the stars. So it's a little bit taller than it needed to be because I got kind of mesmerised with the block placing. It's about 219 Y, and because where are we now? Let's see, we are at 47, and 200 is the ideal height for a windmill. So I thought we'd go like maybe 202 sort of thing, just to be sure in case I decide to move it down one or something. Yeah, it's about 220, so I will move it a little bit lower, but I'm very glad that the shift key works on ladders. That's the secret for building on ladders. And I love this block. This is treated wood scaffolding, and it's made with treated wood fences and treated wood blocks, and you don't actually need ladders on it because you can climb it, but shift doesn't work. If you hold shift, you slowly sink, whereas if you shift on a ladder, it'll stop you in position. So I am going to, yeah, I like this because it's see-through and I like the colour and everything. Yeah, I like that. Right, I'm going to get my bits and I'm going to stick it on the top. Now, something that has come to mind is I need to put the wiring on the outside of this scaffolding, and I can either like tower my way up and then dig my way down, or I can build a jetpack. Let's just have a look at jetpacks, because I believe the first level jetpack is actually reasonably easy. It's a leadstone jetpack tier 1. Yep. So this is the one we go for. And lead is fine. Leadstone flux capacitor, lead and copper and redstone. Oh, sulfur. How do we get sulfur? Okay, it looks like the induction smelter is our best bet, but it takes 4000 RF. I am going to want a jetpack fairly soon, but I don't know whether I want it that soon when I can actually get by just towering up. I'll have a think about this one and we'll see how we go. Alright, now this is interesting. I've noticed that a pulverizer can take this sort of stuff and turn it into leather, which we get from mob drops quite a lot actually, and sulfur, spelt with an F not a PH. We can pulverize coal, and there's a 15% chance, or 15% of the output, I'm not sure whether it's chance or output, is sulfur. And everything else that's required of the jetpack's quite easy, so let's have a look at this pulverizer, because I don't think it's difficult. Pulverizer. There it is. Resonant would be beyond us, but let's see. So a copper gear reception, redstone reception coil we can do, copper gear. So it's only the machine frame, and there's a choice of them there. Let's have a look at these then. So machine frame. Alright. Well, the basic one's really easy. Tin and iron. Can we do better than that? Hardened takes a basic, which is easy. Electrum gear we can do. I've got loads of electrum. I've been smelting that, and I've got plenty of invar. So I could do the hardened pulverizer. I'm not sure what the difference is, but it'll be an upgrade of some sort. Either we'll be able to do something we couldn't do before, or it'll do things faster or better. Or signalum. Now that's not something I've come across. What's signalum? How do we get signalum? Do I want to go down this route? Can I mix a thing and a thing? Silver and copper and redstone in an alloy smelter. Molten signalum. Destabilized redstone. Alright, well that's getting tough. So I think I shall make the hardened machine frame, and then we'll make the, I guess that's a hardened pulverizer, and we'll see how we get on. And here we have a hardened pulverizer. Okay, let's connect that to the power, and somewhere around here will do fine, as long as it doesn't interfere with anything else. Stick you there, stick you there. Right, I need coal and stuff. Configuration. Yep, the side is set to yellow. I don't know what red does. I don't actually know what yellow does either. Blue is input and orange is output. So we've got the side output into the chest, which is good. And let's get some coal. Oh, that's nice and fast. Can't see what it's outputting because it's going straight to the chest. Yeah. I can hear a little bit of rumbly stuff going on. Hey, and there's the sulfur. That's the only thing that we didn't have to make the jetpack. With the exception of leather. I do have leather. I've got enough leather because I killed my one and only chocolate milk cow to get the leather that I needed. And I've actually tried moving all of my animals to the far corner of the tree farm to see if we get more animals spawning on the grass over here, and nothing's happened. I even killed some sheep and the chicken and stuff, but yeah, I've not had anything spawn since, so I guess we're at some sort of cap. But have we got... So I've got enough leather to make the jetpack. I've got enough of everything now to make the jetpack, but I want to know if we can... I've been putting all of my just basic leather items into a loot recycler, just to sort of get rid of it really. But let's see if we can pulverize any of this, because I know that the thing that goes really well with a jetpack is a glider. It'd be nice to have a glider as well. Will this work? Let's see. No, it might be because it's enchanted. There are things for taking enchantments off. Well, I might go sit in the mob room, spawn room thingy, and open some loot bags and see if we get any just ordinary leather armor. And here's our jetpack. Cool. Alright, now we're going to need somewhere to charge this, and I believe the thing that we want is an energetic infuser. That'll be the one. And again, it comes in different machine frames. Right, what about this then? Copper, redstone reception, redstone transmission, just silver, fine. Leadstone energy cell frame, block of redstone. Yep, we can do all of that. So then it just comes down to, it'll be the same machine frame, I think. If it is, then we'll make another hardened one, because I guess that's better. Yeah, and I'm guessing that the reinforced one is, yeah, right, cool. I shall make a hardened energetic infuser. Okay, here's our hardened energetic infuser, and I think we'll just stick it up here somewhere. Alright, so let's see how this works. Put that. Okay, so this is now charging, very good. Now I do know that I need to tinker around with my settings so that I can make this thing hover, because at the moment the controls conflict with something else. So I'll just do that and then we'll give this a try. Okie dokie, so what I've done under controls, I'll show you this in case you don't know where to find it. It's under Simply Jetpacks, and it's the toggle hover mode. I've turned mine to semicolon because that wasn't being used for anything, and it's not something that I have to change on the fly very often. So I've now toggled on. So if you look in the left hand top, you'll see engine hover, and then it's red and it's green and it's red and it's green. I think when it's green it takes up more energy, but you don't die, and that's a good thing. Now can we fly up? So woohoo, spacebar to jump. It does use up your energy quite fast. I think that's because it's such a low tier. Cool. Not entirely sure that I can actually fly the whole way up. Let's see how far I can. Oh, of course, I can actually climb it, can't I? No. I actually have to do spacebar, which means that I'm also using my hover fuel. Let's see how high up I can get by the time we get to 50 jetpack fuel. It charges pretty quick though, so as long as I can make it to the top, do a bit of work. Of course I could climb the ladder on the inside, but I just want to know how high can I get on sort of 50% of my jetpack fuel. And this scaffolding is a great place to try it, because if I fall I can always just grab hold of the scaffolding. Okay, yeah, so I can actually make it to the top. Wow. Just less than 55% jetpack fuel. Right, let's do something scary. Let's walk off. And then we'll climb down, because I'm not really that brave. I don't really like drops. I'd never make a parachutist. I was fine climbing pylons for a living, because you know that you're not going to fall. As long as you keep hold of the thing, it's not going anywhere. But I could never do parachuting. That's like my worst nightmare. Okay, so even though I'm climbing, it's still using my jetpack fuel, and it seems to use my jetpack fuel maybe a little faster going down than going up. But yeah, that'll be fine. Right, I am going to make some NV hardened connections, because that's what I I'm going to make this a medium voltage system because high voltage loses a lot of energy over distance and medium voltage doesn't, and this is not going to be producing a right lot of power. I should really turn my engine off now. I'll go recharge it. Okay, good stuff. Right, now the medium voltage wire is made out of electrum. Let's see if we can find that. MV, there it is. This stuff. So this is what we use to connect all of the electricity stuff together. I think we'll need a fair amount of it, so I've made a fair amount of it. Now to make the MV wire connectors is hardened clay and iron ingots, and that makes, oh, it makes 8. In that case I'm not going to need as much hardened clay as I thought, but I think I'll still need a lot. There we go. So we've now got a good stock of wire coil and wire connectors. So one little trick I've discovered is that you can carry the jetpack in your hand, and then at the point when you want to wear it you just right click and you're wearing it, which is pretty good. Okay, so this is the level where I'm gonna put it. Let's hover on the jetpack, and what I want to do is get the dynamo on the outside. We might even be able to just shift click this instead of using, yep, and then we want the windmill. And that hole down there, the hole in the block, was where 200 was. So, alright, can I shift click this? If I fall, no worries. Okay. Haha! And there's our windmill. Actually, we're not going to be able to see it from down there, are we? I was going to take a look at it from downstairs, but got loads of jetpack fuel. Let's jump off and have a look. Oh, that's cool. Right, now what I'm going to want is an array of these things, and of course all of the wires need to come down, because at the moment, sure, it's turning, but it's not actually doing anything. It's not producing. Well, the dynamo would actually theoretically be producing power, but it's not storing it and it's not going anywhere. So I need to wire down to the bottom, or wire to a capacitor or some other storage system somewhere. And yeah, I'm going to need an array of these things because they don't produce much, but if you get a lot of them, they do. I've got my tree farm being that side. The Minicio farm, I've put some industrial hemp in there as well as Minicio, so that we, because it takes 4 stacks of industrial hemp fibre to make one windmill. Otherwise it's not particularly expensive, but yeah, it just takes a lot of that stuff. But we could get a ton of these up here, and I believe you don't need a dynamo for every one of them either. You can just connect them all together. So that's what we'll do. But the other thing I should do is to move my mossy cobblestone platform, and I'll maybe move it over there because that's where I'm working a lot in my ore production platform, and I'm kind of getting fed up of being rained on, so it would be nice to have a roof on there. So I might move the mossy cobble over there so that then I can have an array of windmills over here and it's not going to interfere with the production of the mossy cobble. So, but I imagine that's all we've got time for this episode. But at long last, a windmill. We'll wire it up and make it do something in the next episode. So thank you for watching. Bye for now.